right? Epilepsy in pregnancy. Okay, so in terms of epilepsy in pregnancy, so the incidence is about 0.5 to 1% in pregnancy. So what we afraid that epilepsy in pregnancy is a sudden explained death. Epilepsy in epilepsy in pregnancy. Okay, explain that SUDEPs, right? That's right. So in terms of pregnancy itself, so management of the epilepsy in pregnancy is a start from the preconception counselling. Preconception, antepartum and intrapartum and postpartum, right? So during the preconception counselling, so you must explain to patient the effect of pregnancy to epilepsy, and the epilepsy to the pregnancy. Epilepsy to pregnancy. Okay, so actually, as you know, the pregnancy does not affect the frequency of seizure, but um, actually they may aggravate the seizure too, because of first the pregnancy itself. Because the mother afraid to took the medication. Why? Because issue of the teratogenic effect. So that's why at this moment you must counsel patient very careful, counsel reassurance patient the importance of the medication to avoid the fitting during the pregnancy to first, because they're afraid. That's why they avoid to take the medication. They afraid the teratogenic effects. Okay, number two, in pregnancy the anti-epileptic drug is clearance very increased, especially like lamotrigine, phenytoin, and then carbamazepine, and then valproic acids increase. So once clearance increase, the dosage will reduce, so the effects, the efficacy is reduce also. So they risk the increased risk of the fitting. Number three is the compliance issue during the pregnancy. So especially during the first trimester, they associated with the vomiting, and right, so vomiting, so they reduce the dosage also. So they not compliant to medication. Number four, during pregnancy, the absorption of anti-epileptic drug reduce also. Okay, number five, sleep disturbance, because you pregnancy you impact you stress, and then you lack of sleep, so especially during the third trimester, so increased risk of eating. So alright, this is during the counselling, you must explain to the patient. Okay, and then during the counselling also, you must decide when she can get pregnant. At least minimum is at least 9 months, because the study shows if they free feed for 9 months, the likelihood to get a fitting during pregnancy, a free feed during pregnancy, is about 85 to 90%. It's very high, right? Okay. Number four, you must ask to the patient the previous pregnancy, how the previous pregnancy, is it affected the baby, and then if the previous pregnancy the baby affected with the epilepsy, mean baby got epilepsy too. So the current pregnancy, there is about 10% risk of this baby have the epilepsy also. And then is if both uh, both the husband and the wife have epilepsy, the baby will get about the baby will get the effect that the baby will have the epilepsy is about 15 to 20%. Alright, okay, to number two. And then so you must start the patient with the folic acid. At least minimum is a 3 month preconception and continue till pregnancy. Okay, so that first about the pregnancy. So about the epilepsy, you must tell the patient about the epilepsy to on pregnancy, effect the epilepsy to pregnancy. So first, you must say to patient regarding reach if status epilepticus happen or fitting, if they withdraw the medication or the frequency of fitting happen, what happen to the baby? Baby will it lead to the fetal hypoxia episode to the baby, and then it will increase the fetal loss about twofold. Risk of fetal miscarriage increase, and right at the same time they risk, if seizure happen, fitting happen, they increase risk of intracranial hemorrhage to the baby. Fetal growth restriction also associated factor, and then what we afraid is the major congenital malformation, right, with the anti-epileptic drug, congenital heart disease, and then neural tube defects and urogenital defect and orofacial defects. Okay. Alright. Others like um, in the management of antenatal management. So antenatal management during the pregnancy, so we not change the anti-epileptic drug. Why? So the high risk drug that high risk drug that can cause the teratogen effects. For preconception first, right? When we decide to allow the pregnant first, at least minimum 9 months free from feed. Alright. Number 2 is the monotherapy medication. Number 3, at least patient the dosage is a low dose, right? Number 5, assess the support, the family support. If any family support available, like the husband, the mother, the parents, and then the husband, the parent knows what to do when they develop fittings, when she develop fittings. Okay. Alright. During the antenatal follow-ups, we advise her to do early booking. Why to do early booking? Because to first confirmation of date, and then for first trimester we can do the first trimester screening, prenatal diagnostic screening. We can screening for alpha fetoprotein to detect any neural tube defects, and then alpha fetoprotein we do at second trimester, and the first trimester we can do knuckle translucency scans, right, to detect any neural tube defects. Okay, and then we can scheduling her for detailed scan to look any structural abnormality, because she took the anti-epileptic drug. Right, this patient should manage under combined clinic care, which involve the neurologist, physician, and fetal-maternal specialist. Okay. In terms of that, we no need to change the anti-epileptic drug, because even though we know the valproic acid is highly associated with the high risk associated with the major congenital malformation, but we not change, because the study shows by changing valproic acid to other drug doesn't avoid, not significantly avoid risk of congenital malformation. First, once you change to the drug, you didn't know the effect of the drug to to prevent the fitting and the risk of allergic, because once you change the drug, mother can get allergic reaction, and then the side effect of the drug also we didn't know. Alright. Lamotrigine shows safe during pregnancy. Okay. Otherwise, like try to avoid polytherapy during the pregnancy, because the study shows increased risk of congenital malformation. Alright. Okay. So in term of that, you must assess during antenatal. You must reassure patient. You must take the medication. Avoid the compliance issue, because they tend to avoid the drug because she afraid the teratogenic effect to the of the drug. Okay. So and then must make sure the companion, the husband or the family member know how to handle if they have fitting episode at home, right? Okay, prenatal screening, others like so it's advisable to start the vitamin K, oral vitamin K, 10 to 20 milligram OD since 36 week. Alright, TDM level, drug level is not recommended, not routinely recommended during the pregnancy unless you suspect any toxicity happen. Okay, during intrapartum event, so this the period that where the fittings episode is high during intrapartum and 24-hour post delivery, because during intrapartum is a stress condition. So how you want to reduce the stress and anxiety? So we give her adequate analgesia. The best analgesia option is a epidural. So bear in your mind, the epilepsy is not indication for induction of labor and cesarean section. So we advocate for vaginal delivery unless there is an obstetric indication for cesarean section. So if the during second stage, uh, is recommended to expedite delivery with the instrumental delivery. Post delivery, you must post delivery, the baby should give the IM vitamin K 1 milligram, right? So we can encourage her breastfeeding, and then about the contraception, just advise her the efficacy of the contraception is less once she's on the anti-epileptic drug. Okay, that's all about the epilepsies in pregnancy. Thank you.